you can see, they're closing her down, getting ready to rip out that bridge. Right here's the crossover bridge that they've laid in. We'll be driving across that soon, man. Of course, there's no reason to fix the potholes in this thing here. Gonna rip that out of there. You see all the warning and everything getting set up with the barrels, and let people know a couple miles south of here they're about to make a big change. So a couple more years, that shall be an ended project, completed, and they can move on to the next ones. This used to be a clover leaf right here when I took driver's ed back in high school. Well, the summer between 8th grade and 9th grade. We'd all come up and drive this clover leaf. And there was another one at I-94 and 131. So we had twin clover leaves we had to maneuver. Back then it was a 1972 LTD 4-door, blue metallic, dark interior. All the kids took driver's ed. It was free of charge. It was part of the school's curriculum. We had our instructor, who was also the principal or assistant principal of the middle school, Mr. Fred Beckman, Marine Corps veteran. He was our instructor, and we'd go out there and drive. All of us had our driver's licenses when we were freshmen in high school. And you got, it was either 1 credit or 1/2 credit for taking driver's ed. We needed 18 credits to graduate from high school. I graduated with a little over 23. I think it was 23 and a half. Be right back. There was a beautiful old homestead that sat right there along Asylum Lake. And that was purchased by a private person. It was razed to the ground. They were going to take that whole corner back there and fill it all in and put a big car wash in there. And it fell through, but the house is gone. Sad thing. But that's what happens. It wasn't protected, and it was one of the oldest homes in the county. That being said, I'm going to tell you about the little story about the driver's ed. Out one day, Mr. Beckman up in the front, of course, passenger side, and he had a special braking apparatus attached to the floor there on the passenger front, that if he had to, the instructor could pump his own brake, slow the car down. Anyways, he's sitting there, and I'm in the back seat with 2 really nice gals, Robin and Tammy, and I'm sorry to say that Tammy is deceased here just about 1.5 years ago. And a gentleman by the name of Bill was driving, taking his turn, and he's driving along, and there was it'd been windy out, and there was a little debris in the road, and he went over the debris, and the instructor, Mr. Beckman, he said, "Now, Bill, you know that you're not supposed to hit that. You slow down or try to safely go around it." And Bill didn't say anything. He kept driving, and a little further, and of course you'll learn not to hit dead animals and things. You know, the bones can drive into your tires, and you can have a blowout by hitting a dead animal. And so you try to stay away from any of that kind of stuff. And so Bill's driving along, and there was a roadkill laying there. And Bill driving along, and we're sitting there in the back seat, quiet. Mr. Beckman wouldn't put up with no talking. And all of a sudden, Bill, bump over that, a rabbit or something, dead. And Beckman has him pull off the side of the road, and he really gives it to him. He says, now, what did I tell you? This, and that. And he gives him the riot act. And Bill says, okay, and he keeps driving. And we're driving along, and there was a good-sized limb now. The break-off point of it was about the size of the end of a baseball bat. A decent-sized limb laying there on the road, and Bill's driving along 40, 45 miles an hour. Bump, 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 right over that big old limb. And that was it. That's when I got to take the wheel. Bill was banished to the back seat with the two girls. Maybe that's what he wanted. I didn't mind it back there. It was nice sitting there with those two nice girls. And anyways, I passed. Bill must have passed too. But never forget that. The third time was the charm to try to get in that back seat, is what I'm thinking. Who knows? Have a great one. Pass driver's ed. I know it's expensive now. They don't give it away in school anymore. They don't even give it in school anymore. I bet it has something to do with lawyers and probably a liability and so forth. Too many bills hitting things with the other kids in the back seat. Yep, I don't know. But I know it's expensive. I know when my daughter went through the program, we had to find a place for her to take the driver's test. And we seen it was so expensive, we just waited. She didn't need to drive anyways yet, and everything was fine. When you reach, I believe it's 18 years of age, you can just go down to the transportation office with proof of your citizenship, your whatever, gas bill, state issued ID, whatever you may have, and go right in there and get your driver's license. You have to take a little written test and go up to the counter, and they'll have you look into the viewer and ask you, where do you see the bouncing ball? And you say, I don't see a bouncing ball. They say, it's good, passed. And then you go and stand in front of the camera, and now they take your digital picture instantly, and you can have it taken over and over again until you like what you see. And then it just takes a matter of a couple of weeks, and it's in your mailbox. As I mentioned before, I had a cycle endorsement to begin with on my chauffeur's license. I took the chauffeur's license test. My mother told me, go for the chauffeur's license. And so I did. It was a little more classroom, you could say. All just common sense and so forth, and it worked out. I got a bad blowout right there, and I passed it, and I've had a chauffeur's license ever since. I had my cycle endorsement until I went into the military, and when I joined the Army, I sold my motorcycle, and I haven't owned one since, and I hadn't had a reason for a cycle endorsement, but that's just the way it was. See you in the next one. Thanks for riding along. Listen to me gab. Have a great day.